Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. This is a first game from the tiebreak of the World Chess Championship match 2018. Magnus Carlsen had white pieces and he started with c4, the English opening. Caruana played e5, knight to c3, knight to f6, g3, and now bishop to b4. So we have Sicilian Rossolimo reversed. It is white to move. Bishop to g2 is kind of a standard move. Carlsen played e4. This is a surprise move, which Carlsen saved for this occasion. Carlsen is tempting Caruana to win the pawn on e4. There was a game in 2002. Black did captured on c3 and white recaptured with d-pawn, and after castling f3, and white went on to win the game. Back to our game. Caruana wanted to play safe. He castled kingside. Knight from g to e2, c6. If now bishop takes on c3, then knight takes on c3. c6, bishop to g2, a6, preparing b5. Carlsen castled kingside, b5, and now d4. Carlsen removed his safety breaks. d6. If e takes on d4, knight takes on d4. If b takes on c4, then e5. Back to our game. d6 supporting the pawn on e5. a3 asking a question. Bishop takes on c3, knight takes on c3. b takes on c4, d takes on e5, d takes on e5, and black is a pawn up. Knight to a4, black to move, bishop to e6. If queen takes on d1, rook takes on d1, knight from b to d7, rook to d6, bishop to b7, bishop to e3, rook from a to c8, rook to c1, and white has a good compensation for a sacrificed pawn. Back to our game. Caruana played bishop to e6, queen takes on d8, rook takes on d8, bishop to e3, knight from b to d7, preventing knight to b6, f3, defending the pawn on e4, rook from a to b8, rook from a to c1, rook to b3, attacking the bishop, rook from f to e1, defending the bishop and intending bishop to f1, knight to e8, bishop to f1, knight to d6, defending the pawn on c4, rook from c to d1, knight to b5, knight to c5, attacking the rook and sacrificing the pawn on b2. Rook takes on b2. Caruana is now 2 pawns up. Knight takes on e6, f takes on e6, bishop takes on c4, knight to d4, bishop takes on d4, e takes on d4, bishop takes on e6, check, king to f8, rook takes on d4. The tables have turned, and white is now a pawn up. King to e7, rook takes on d7, rook takes on d7, bishop takes on d7, king takes on d7, rook to d1, check, king to e6, f4, c5. If rook to a2, then rook to b1, and after rook takes on a3, white may play rook to b7, and white is standing better. Back to our game. After f4, we have c5. Rook to d5, attacking the pawn, rook to c2, h4, c4, f5, check, king to f6, rook to c5, h5, preventing g4, king to f1, rook to c3, attacking the pawn, but this allows king to go up the board. King to g2, rook takes pawn on a3, rook takes pawn on c4. Should I mention that Carlsen has excellent rook endgame skills. King to e5, rook to c7, king takes on e4, rook to e7, check first. Rook takes on g7 immediately is also fine. We have rook to e7 check, king takes on f5, Rook takes on g7, intending rook to g5. King to f6, rook to g5, a5, rook takes on h5, a4, rook to a5, rook to a1, king to f3, a3, rook to a6 check, king to g7. If king goes to e5, then h5, and after king to f5, check, and after king to f6, king to g4, and if a2, rook to a7, and white is winning. Back to our game. King to g7, king to g2, rook to a2 check, king to h3, rook to a1, h5, king to h7, g4, king to g7, king to h4, a2 intending rook to h1 check, but now king to g5, there is no check, king to f7, h6, rook to b1, rook to a7 check, pushing the king back, king to g8, rook takes on a2, rook to b5 check, king to g6, rook to b6 check, king to h5, and in this position Caruana resigned. For the entertainment purpose I will show you just one line. Rook to b5 check, g5, king to h7, rook to a7 check, king to g8, rook to e7. You will see the reason for this move very shortly. Rook to a5, king to g6, rook to a6 check, king to f5, rook to a5 check, king to f6, rook to a6 check, rook to e6, shielding the king, rook to a8, g6, g6, intending h7 check, rook to b8, h7 check, king to h8, king to g5, king to g7, rook to e7 check, king to f8, rook to f7 check, king to e8, and that is checkmate in one. Pawn to h8, queen, checkmate. Magnus Carlsen showed his superiority by winning 3 games of the tiebreak to retain the title. Everything worked for Magnus Carlsen as planned. What do you think of this game? What do you think of this match? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.